Hello, YouTube. This is and all my fellow speakers out there. This is Brian, the speaker for the dead, coming to you for another video today on the road. Just wanted to touch on a comment that was mentioned briefly in one of my last videos before I get going on the main theme here today. And that is, Brian, how can you make a video while you're driving down the road and not crash and kill somebody? Good question. Mainly because I'm not really looking at the camera. See, even when I do this, my eyes are forward. But this is so that you feel like I'm actually speaking to you, because otherwise it's kind of a rude, it's just like having somebody in the truck with me here when I'm having a conversation. I'll turn and look at them for a split second to make that eye contact so that people feel like you're connecting with them and that you're not just not paying attention. So no matter what you might think or whatever, trust me, if you watch my other videos, you can see me checking my mirrors, watching. You can hear me signaling to get over and to get back in. I could not do that if I was not paying attention to the road. So understand the concern, and that was pointed out to me, and I wanted to make you guys aware that I am paying attention to the road, that I'm not distracted. I am able to walk and chew gum at the same time and everything. So this is not a safety issue. It's no different than me talking on hands-free, because I don't have the camera in my hands. I have the steering wheel in my hands. So I want you guys to feel like, I'm not out here putting anybody, including myself's life on the line. So just wanted to get that out of the way and touch on that so you guys understand that I'm talking to you, but I'm watching the road, because I can do both. I'm awesome like that. I've been driving truck for almost 20 years, so I learned how to do a few things in that time, like eat and all that kind of stuff while I'm behind the wheel. I know drivers that pee while they're going down the road, but no, not me. Anyway, sorry, my camera's wobbling, so I'm going to be moving it a little bit while I'm going down the road here. But anyway, the topic for today, one of my favorites. This is going to be a positive, happy, uplifting video, because I'm going to talk about one of my favorite all-time movie stars. He is a huge, massive influence in my life. Watched his movies the whole time I was growing up. Grew up in a rural community, so his movies were very popular. And who am I talking about? Well, as you've probably seen from the header to this video, I'm talking about the late, great Duke himself, John Wayne. I love John Wayne. If you go on my Facebook, that's my icon for my Facebook page is a quote from John Wayne with a picture of John Wayne. I love John Wayne. One of the best actors ever, in my opinion. Did a lot of westerns, but he did a lot of other things too. I truly, truly think he is one of the all-time greatest. He's just very versatile. I mean, I know he did a lot of westerns and stuff, but he did war films, and he did kind of art house films and stuff. And so today I thought what I'd do is give you my top 5 John Wayne movies, which is very hard to do, by the way. But these are the ones when I want to watch a great John Wayne and I know it's just going to be great. These are the ones I go to. I own these. I own a lot of John Wayne films, actually. I was not a very big fan of him in his early days, when he was still doing black and whites and he was coming out, because there were a lot of B movies. I mean, he did a lot of B movies before he finally broke through into that A-list celebrity category and became an icon. But he paid his dues. I mean, how many actors, and I mean, I guess a lot of actors do that, but I mean, he did a lot of B movies to get to be an A actor. But so I'm going to give you my top 5 here and then do some honorable mentions. Now, I know it's going to be controversial because every John Wayne fan, everybody who loves the John Wayne Western is, it's got their favorites. And so I'm sure everybody's going to be like, that's not the greatest ones, it's this one. It's like, well, and everybody's entitled to their opinion. But if you watch only 5 John Wayne films, these are the ones I'm telling you you should go watch, because it shows him at his most versatile, I think. And I just love him. Number 5, for its comedic and amazing story and the fun and the greatness of it, has to be North to Alaska. North to Alaska is one of my all-time favorites. I love it. It's funny. I've showed it to my kids. My kids are ages, I have a 18, 19-year-old, and all the way down to 2. The 2-year-old really doesn't have an opinion on John Wayne yet, but she will love him. Trust me. But I started showing John Wayne films to my kids because I was like, you don't see him as much as you. All the movies you see now are so flashy. Anyway, so I started showing them. They loved North to Alaska. Thought it was hilarious. Had so much fun watching it. Was so excited. And afterwards, they're like, "Who was that, Dad?" You know, and I started telling them who John Wayne really was. And anyway, and we've started watching more John Wayne films because I want them to see what great movies actually are. Because a lot of the stuff being produced now, it's flashy, explosions, there's no story, it's just all special effects and social justice warrior garbage and crap. Anyway, North to Alaska, I won't ruin the film if you haven't seen it. If you haven't seen it, you're nuts. Go see it right now. I mean, he plays a gold prospector with a partner from up in Alaska. I love the song that came from it. I think it's Jim Horton that sings the song North to Alaska. Used to sing it when I was a kid because we had a record of his. I had that one and Sink the Bismarck and some of his great songs that he was a folk singer essentially. But just a great film, very fun, very politically incorrect. I would show this film to a social justice warrior just to watch their head explode. Because basically, I mean, the way that the women are talked about and treated in this film, by today's standards, it'd be like, oh no. But it's funny. It's funny. And nobody's getting hurt. Nobody's being mistreated and stuff. And John Wayne's comedic performance in this is absolutely brilliant. My favorite line in the movie is, because he's kind of a womanizer. He womanizes when he can. He chases women. He loves women. He's just kind of that man's man character, which is the thing I loved about John Wayne. He was always a man's man. You want to see how to be a real man? Go watch John Wayne movies. Pattern your life after that, and you're a man's man. And a ladies' man too. Because no matter what women tell you, they want somebody who's a real man. They don't want these soy boy loser douchebags that are being created right now. They want real men in their lives. Okay? Good men. And John Wayne was a real good man. Had a bit of a drinking problem, and it wasn't perfect, but he could portray a great man. And I love it. And it's just a great film. But the best part of that, he's in this conversation with this other guy, and he's talking about this girl. He's like, I don't understand women. They just always trying to tie a man down, always trying to get him down. I mean, take this one girl. We kind of got out or what, and I'm paraphrasing. These are not exact lines. This is from memory. I bent over to tie her shoe one day, and the next thing I know, she was beating me over the head with a preacher. And his delivery's way better than mine. This is the best freaking line in that whole film. But it is hilarious. It's got it all. So, number 5, North to Alaska. Number 4, it's a great film, and just showing kids how to be men. And of course, I'm talking about the Cowboys. Cowboys. The story is that this man has got to get his cows moved from one place to another so he can sell them. And there's no hands to be had. Like he has no way of getting hands to help him move his herd. So anyway, these kids hear about it, and they go and they show up to help him move his cows and to get a job with him to help him move these cows to where I can't remember where they're going from or to. This is not important. anyway, he ends up taking these kids on, which, oh my gosh, in today's world, working children, oh yeah, volunteered. They asked to do it. They wanted a job. They wanted to earn money. They, you know, back when children actually were taught how to be real decent human beings. Go figure. But no, it's and anyway, it's the story of how he teaches these kids how to be men. And they help him move these cattle across. There's the cook character is played by a black guy. Don't know his name. He went on to be quite famous in other films in his own right. But he fantastic actor. I wish I could remember. A lot of these guys that you see in John Wayne's films, you'll see him in a lot of his films because once he found guys that could act around him, he tried to get them in more of his films. Because you build up a great cast around you, and if you know somebody can act, why take the chance on somebody who can't? Anyway, so you see a lot of the same characters in John Wayne films. It's the only time I remember seeing this guy in a John Wayne movie, but he was very good. He plays the cook, and it's just really funny. he's awesome. Funny, serious, just kind of a gritty, real life character. It was great. But I mean, you wanna show your young men how to be men. And what's expected of men and how to be go get the Cowboys and rent that one. Great film, just very, very highly recommended. Just a great film. Very sad in a lot of ways, but it just I don't know. It's one of them ones you just walk away from. You're sad, but you're like, that was great. That was amazing. And they don't make films like that. It's not always a happy ending, and sometimes the happy ending isn't what you expect it to be. That's the Cowboys. God, it's moving along today. I apologize. Number 3. Well, we're going to switch gears here a little bit with this next one because it was kind of a departure, I think, from his standard format, which is one of the things I think made it so great. And had one of the all-time greatest actresses in the world in this film. Which one am I talking about? Got to be Brewster Cogburn and the lady. Again, shows fantastic comedic timing. It shows a real human interest. He bonds with this lady and this boy, but not in that romantic way. It's just they kind of dislike each other right off the start. Her father gets killed, and they kind of get thrust together to try and catch these bad guys that did it. He was chasing them anyway for the government, and he's kind of a broken down peace officer, and he's the same character from the film True Grit, which was Brewster Cogburn. You find out in the movie, his real name's Reuben, and he doesn't like it. And this lady, once she finds that out, just keeps calling him Reuben through the whole Anyways, it's such a good classic John Wayne, funny, action, good bad guys. I mean, the bad guys that were in this went on to become stars in their own right. And here I am losing their names. What a terrible review, right? Well, go watch the movies. You'll see them. I was gonna say Dennis Hopper, but that's not the right guy. Anyway, but Dennis Hopper is in some young Dennis Hopper. You see him in, I think, Rio Lobo. Anyway, which is another John Wayne film. So, Brewster Cogburn and the lady, epic film, great actress that plays opposite of him, Katharine Hepburn. One of the all-time greats. Classy, amazing woman who just brings such a character to the spunky lady that he gets thrown into that movie with. Then there's an Indian kid, which a lot of times, you put kids or young people in a film and they end up being detracting and obnoxious. This kid's great. This Indian kid that is in the film with him, he just adds that much more to it and kind of gives them one more thing for them to kind of fight and squabble over. It is absolutely fantastic. Fantastic ending. Just shows the real respect between men and women, and that you don't have to take anything away from a man or a woman to make either one of them great. They're great in their own right for their own things, their own reasons. And it's just a fantastic film. Go see it. Number 2, that like I said, these were really hard. There's so many great films that he did, especially towards the end of his career. In the middle of his career, towards the end, it really got hard to pick these last ones. But I got to give this number 2 spot to Big Jake. Big Jake is an awesome John Wayne film. It's towards the latter years of his career. He's in this movie with an actress that he plays off of quite a bit, which is Maureen O'Hara. She plays his wife. She's not in the movie very much, not nearly as much as in some of the others that she was in. But like I say, Maureen O'Hara was one of those actresses that he knew were great actresses, and so they ended up being in a lot of films together. But Big Jake is basically the story of an estranged husband and wife. They're very wealthy, but they're separated. She's basically running the ranch, and he's out roaming the world, just, basically buying cows and doing other stuff. And so they're estranged, they're apart. He hasn't been home or seen him in like 10 years or something. And what happens is a group of thugs show up, kidnap his grandson to ransom, kill a bunch of people on their ranch that he knew personally. Anyway, Maureen O'Hara calls him back to have him go after these men and pay the ransom. And John Wayne's actual son plays one of his sons in the film. Patrick Wayne is his name, and he plays the dark-haired. I just lost the guy's the name of the character he plays anyway. And then another actor plays one of his sons that goes with him. One of them's shot, and you only see him a little bit in the film. But one of the other actors that's in, I can't remember his name. This is great, right? Oh, Brian and his, I don't know who anybody has reviewed. But I mean, they're secondary characters, but they're mainline characters too. But I mean, he's been in a lot of John Wayne films too. He's been in several. The guy that plays his son. And then there's an Indian character. That guy's been in several films of John Wayne's. And just, again, great comedic timing, yet a very kind of serious overtone of a man estranged from his family coming back together. There's feelings, there's resentment, there's abandonment issues that are being dealt with. And it comes off really funny because he's just a man's man. He is a man who's not going to apologize for the way he's lived his life. He's done what he's done, whether it's good or bad, and he owns it. That's what a real man is. You own it. Own what you do. Own how you live your life. John Wayne probably taught that in his films more than anything else. Own what you do. Don't blame somebody else. Don't pretend it's somebody else's fault. Own what you do. Should I say it again? Because I mean, I've only said it like 16 times. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. So great film. Surprise, it's great ending to the film. I'm not going to spoil it. Anyway, that sets up the story for you to go watch this. He's going after his son, or his grandson, to rescue. He's never seen this kid, but he's going after him. And he takes these 2 sons and a friend of his with him on the adventure. And it's just, there's a lot of great stuff. You will not be bored. It is a great film. And if you're bored, you've been too Hollywoodized, stop paying attention to big explosions and blah, blah, blah. Because there's gunfights and explosions in this, but they're more realistic. Nobody's destroying a planet, which I like, but I like a lot of things. So anyway, all right, here we are, down to the moment, the real moment. Boom. The number 1 Brian pick of all John Wayne movies of all time. Gonna be super controversial. I know, I know it is, but this is my taste. Number 1 has got to be McClintock. What? Brian, you're gonna pick that one over this one and this one and this one and this? Yes, I am. Why? It's the one I can watch over and over and over and over and over and never get tired of it. Never one time am I like, yes, it's great. I mean, they're all great, and I can watch them over and over again, but not like that one. That one has Maureen O'Hara A great cast. Once again, his true son, Patrick Ewing, what are we in Dallas? Patrick Wayne plays a part in this. He plays a hired hand that he hires on his ranch. It's really funny. Just once again showing men how to be men, how to be respected, how to stand up straight, be a good person. He's got a daughter in this film, teaching her how to be a real woman, how to take responsibility for herself. And I mean, it's just great. And Maureen O'Hara, again, great. But what you will love about this film, this one and probably North to Alaska better than any of the others, shows just how funny John Wayne can be. How deadpan he could do something and just be hilarious. It truly, truly is, in my opinion, the greatest, because it's just, from start to finish, it's funny, it's entertaining, you've got all this inner family turmoil going on, and great characters having amazing interactions with each other, and trying to figure all this stuff out. And once again, he's estranged from his wife, and to see how they try and solve that issue between real men and real women, just that aren't fake, and some man crawling around on his face trying to apologize to some psychotic feminist. She's not a feminist, she's a strong woman though, and that's the thing I love about this film. Maureen O'Hara is a strong, independent, amazing woman who isn't diminished by being with a great man. They both are great together. That's the most important thing you learn. I love this story. It is my all-time favorite. I love John Wayne. Some of the honorable mentions that so close made it into the list: The Sons of Katie Elder, The Quiet Man, another one that shows how flexible and how great John Wayne could be, and what versatility he showed as an actor. He plays an Irish guy that goes back to Ireland after living in America most of his life. And just a great film. The Green Berets, God, great film. Sands of Iwo Jima, that one was tough not to put into this my top 5. I love the Sands of Iwo Jima. Rio Lobo, another great film. There's so many. I hope that you, if nothing else, you'll take the time to go and watch these films. Because they are so worth it. And I apologize, I'm making a turn, so I have to pay attention as usual. But they are great films. Go get them, go rent them, go to Amazon, buy them, keep them, show them to your kids. Trust me, you need to show these to your kids. Show them what real men and real women are like, and what life is really like when you don't have time for all this nonsense that's going on in the world today. When men were men and women were women, and everybody was okay with that. Nobody was confused about what bathroom they were supposed to be using. Back when the world made sense and Christian values weren't scorned. These are things that they're great. They are great films. Great actor. One of my all-time favorites. One of my heroes. They've tried to recently, in the last few months, tried to run him through the dirt with some stuff that he had said, something he'd said about African Americans or black people, and you know what? He was a product. It was a product of his time. They had different attitudes and different views back then. But I mean, he worked with black people in his movies. He worked with them. The man wasn't a racist. Now they're trying to call him a racist. But they're trying to do that to anybody who was great, anybody who was a true icon of the past, because you know what? We got to tear everything down. As social justice warriors, we're going to tear everything down so we can build up our psycho stupidity. And that's what they're doing, and so don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype. Yeah, he may have said some things wrong. Who hasn't said something wrong in their life? Who hasn't made a stupid statement in a moment and then regretted it later, The standards that they're setting up for people to meet, nobody can match. Even they can't match them. These stupid people say stupid stuff all the time, and yet, they get a pass when it comes time for them to be called out on the carpet. So anyway, don't want to make this political rant. I just felt like that should be thrown in because people might be put off by some of the news reporting that's happened in the last few months. Oh, John Wayne, he was a racist. He wasn't a racist. He wasn't a racist. He was a great man, a great actor who had his flaws and made great movies. Great movies. So butter up the popcorn, grab yourself your favorite soda pop, pop in a John Wayne movie, and prepare to have your mind blown by one of the greatest actors of all time. Have a great day. If you like this video, hit like, subscribe, and share. Hitting like tells the algorithm that you like what I'm doing, and it helps boost me in the ratings to where I'll get put out there for more people to see. So please hit like. That helps me immensely. Like, share, and subscribe, and hit that little bell notification so that you can see when I've uploaded new videos. There'll be more like this coming in the future. I'm going to start doing more reviews of classic films that I loved and I like and why I like them. I can sit here and show you pictures and stuff of movies, and then possibly in the future I will. But I want to paint a picture in your mind more than just with pictures, because I want you to go into these movies fresh. They are amazing. They are amazing films, and everybody should have a chance to go see them and debate them and talk about what was great and what they loved and what they didn't. And if you disagree with this list, that's great. That's all right. Get a conversation going. These are just my favorites. And like I said, it was so hard to pick which ones I like more than others because there's so many that I just absolutely love. Anyway, I hope you have a great day, and we will talk to you next time.